Why Ukrainians adore Americans. America's huge influence on Ukraine. The most popular perceptions Ukrainians have about America. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Mary, a native Ukrainian who worked as an English interpreter for several years at meetings between Americans and Ukrainians. Today we'll talk about why Ukrainians are fascinated by Americans. It sounds like sycophancy from a foreign woman who praises in every possible way just for the sake of subscribers. But I'm saying this for a reason. For example, last year, a survey was conducted in Ukraine about America's image, highlighting the most popular perceptions Ukrainians have about America in several key aspects. Ukrainians consider America the most economically developed country, with a high quality of life and a government that doesn't steal money but cares for the people. If you are even slightly familiar with the general characteristics of the Ukrainian people, you'll sense the friction in relationships with the government here. Most Ukrainians want to live like in America, prosperously, peaceful, and achieving what Americans achieve. Anonymously, they say that American culture greatly influences Ukraine, and almost all respondents view Ukrainian-American relations positively. So, the image of America and Americans is absolutely positive for most Ukrainians. But why? Let's delve into the reasons. The first reason is the image of a happy American life, where everyone has their own home, car, and there is no question where to get money. Ukrainians would love to live like that. In American movies, we see successful and wealthy heroes. Ukrainians watch this with admiration and like such movies because they imagine themselves in their place. Many schoolgirls in 2005-2010 watched popular series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Charmed, and I was no exception. My friends and I played with various items pretending to be witch sisters who are going to protect the world from monsters. Nowadays, most Ukrainians are fans about American series like Game of Thrones, Friends, Breaking Bad, Stranger Things. Many Ukrainians know the songs of Eminem, Metallica, and Nirvana. Personally, during my school years, I listened to Britney Spears' track on repeat. I knew all her songs by heart and covered my closet and walls with her posters. Our teenagers have long looked at the parties held in America and, of course, dream of having similar ones. But all they can manage is to gather in the stairwell, drink beer, and listen to their favorite American music, imagining themselves like their cool American peers. It looked something like this. The younger the person, the more sympathy they have for America. Among the older generation, American content is not widespread. My grandmother, like most others, loves American comedies and melodramas, but still gravitates towards old Soviet films and feel nostalgic about life in the USSR. After all, many elderly people lived the best years of their lives in the USSR and want to return that time. Before the full-scale war in Ukraine, political arguments often arose in many families. Grandparents mainly supported pro-Russian politicians. What about middle-aged Ukrainians? Most of them are not concerned with politics. Most dream of their own home, car, and the ability to provide a high quality of life for their family. But expectations don't match reality. And in Ukraine, the average salary is about $380. According to calculations, it would take a Ukrainian with an average salary more than 15 years to pay off a mortgage on an apartment in Kyiv, which many cannot afford. As for school children and students, what attracts them most in America are pizza and fries in the school cafeteria, the ability to have a personal car and drive at 16, and of course through cool parties. You can understand them because in our cafeterias, pizza is a piece of duck with toppings resembling yesterday's borscht, and the most they have in terms of transportation is a bicycle. In 2010, there was a fashion with American prints. Many teenagers started wearing t-shirts with the US flag and ripped jeans imitating American students. I was no exception. I think I had everything the US flag. Teenagers in Ukraine also often use American slang. This can be borrowed English words, slightly adapted to our language, or purely English words. This allows our youth to have more in common with their foreign idols and feel cooler. For example, words like creepy, fake, and like. By the way, a holiday that came to our culture from America is Halloween. Most Ukrainians are delighted with this aesthetic and fun event. Halloween allows them to feel as if in the context of their dream life. But not everyone celebrates it, only those who can afford parties. Personally, I started celebrating Halloween with friends only last year, although I had been dreaming about it every year before. What else do Ukrainians love about Americans? Some Ukrainians definitely remember the band Red Hot Chili Peppers performed in Kyiv in 2016. About 40,000 Ukrainian fans attended their concert. We used to have frequent concerts of American performers. Many gathered with friends and went to concerts, and some even traveled to Kyiv specifically for this. Many students travel to America on exchange programs. In Ukraine, the program called Work and Travel is very popular. Ukrainian students go to the USA to travel and earn money. This way they can do two things: make money and get bright emotions from traveling. What else do students need? I also dreamed about this during my students' years. Another popular exchange program is Flex, which sends high school students to the States for one academic year for culture exchange. Most Ukrainian students would love to have this opportunity. In conclusion, I want to say that Ukrainians love America not for its movies, music, and so on. We want to live like in America. So many Ukrainians try to follow the American example. I'm very interested in the reverse side. How do Americans feel about Ukrainians? Write your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe.